Hello everyone, my name is Arjun Dhir and I'm an associate here at Rodney Employment Law. I'm here to speak to you today about a very hot topic in the employment law realm, and that's cannabis in the workplace. Over the past several months, our firm has received countless calls from employers who want to know more about how to manage this new legal substance in their workplace. With that in mind, we prepared our top 5 tips for employers to effectively manage cannabis in the workplace. So I'll start this off with some good news for employers. Cannabis use in Canada is not entirely new. In fact, Canadians have been legally permitted to obtain a prescription to consume medical cannabis since 2001. Due to that, much of the case law that will be relied upon as issues arise in the workplace in the early days of recreational cannabis will likely draw upon medical cannabis usage over the past 2 decades. So it's important to remember that the consumption of cannabis, whether it be for medical or recreational purposes, is not a new phenomenon. And if managed correctly, likely won't cause a big disruption within your workplace. So now, given the fact that cannabis use is not a new or novel concept in Canada, comparable approaches do exist for managing this new substance in your workplace. With that said, employers must be aware that there is no single approach that can be taken to managing cannabis. Rather, we have been advising employers to continue utilizing and supplementing existing approaches, and there's 2 of them that you have to consider. These 2 approaches relate to managing either recreational or medical cannabis in your workplace. So when our employer clients ask us about how to approach recreational cannabis, my answer is actually quite simple. I tell them that employers have been tasked with dealing with an equally or even more mind-altering recreational substance for years and years. And this substance I'm speaking about is alcohol. So with that in mind, I advise employers to treat cannabis just like they've been treating alcohol. And by that I mean that employers can, and they should, develop clear policies that take a zero-tolerance approach towards the consumption of recreational cannabis during working hours. The more complex and delicate issue arises when employers come to us and ask how to manage medical cannabis. With that said, when faced with matters involving medical cannabis, we advise employers to follow the same framework that they currently use for managing other impairing over-the-counter or prescription medications. This means that employers must be aware of their legal duty to accommodate those who are prescribed the medication for cannabis or to treat their disability or are suffering from an addiction to cannabis. However, where it gets really difficult when they consider that you have to balance your legal duty to accommodate with the employer's duty to provide a safe work environment for all their employees. In all honesty, this is a very challenging and delicate balancing act that must be considered on a case-by-case basis. As such, when your organization is faced with these difficult accommodation requests, the best practice is to seek out professional legal advice and assistance. So, while managing cannabis is far from a new concept, I have no doubt that over the next few years, there will be new issues that will continue to arise as cannabis use becomes more and more prevalent. With that said, our final tip is quite simple. Employers must be proactive. If your organization takes a few steps today, you can save your organization a lot of headaches and backtracking in the future. We recommend that employers start by implementing or updating workplace policies, including those that relate to accommodation and drug and alcohol use. The next step would be to clearly communicate these new or existing policies to managers and employees to ensure that everyone is on the same page and up to speed on the company's expectations. By setting out your expectations at the outset, your organization can ensure that you are not met with any unwelcome surprises down the road. As always, our legal and HR professionals at Rodney Employment Law and MaxPeople are here to help. So please feel free to reach out at any time to find out more about how we can help you today.